Ladies and gentlemen, this week is officially the week for superhero content for comic book movie media. We are going to be getting so much in the next few days. Firstly, I want to talk about Avengers Doomsday. So, it's been released that the Avengers Doomsday trailer is about 1 minute and 25 seconds, and that we're going to be getting that trailer possibly on Thursday. Either on Thursday or Sunday. Those are like the two that we're going to be getting. I know that we're supposed to be getting this trailer released alongside Avatar Fire and Ash, so I don't necessarily know about the Sunday release date, but you never know with Marvel. They can always surprise us and drop it tomorrow. We have no idea. If DC were to play it smart, I would think that they would release the Supergirl trailer, which we got a teaser for. We got a teaser for a teaser trailer, yesterday, and that was fun. So we might be getting that either tomorrow if DC is smart enough to release it ahead of Doomsday to sort of get that talk going, or we're going to be seeing it after the Doomsday sort of release. Or we're going to be getting it on the same exact day, which I think would be a complete waste of time for DC because everyone's going to be talking about Doomsday. Supergirl is just going to be pushed to the side, and I don't want to see that happen. So I just need to make sure that DC is playing it smart, that all the people at DC and the marketing teams are playing it really, really smart in terms of that trailer. This is the first non-James Gunn project in the DCU. Greg Gillespie directed this, so it's going to be really interesting to see his style and his take and his aesthetic sort of put into this DC universe. From what I've heard from the trailer descriptions, because a lot of people have already seen the trailer, it does still very much read off as a James Gunn film, which I'm very disappointed by, because that means that James Gunn has put way too much of his input on this movie. I just do not want another Guardians of the Galaxy-esque type movie. I love those movies for what they are. I love the Guardians movies. Those were cult classics in my house growing up. But I need this film to be different. I do not need it to follow the same sort of pattern that Gunn's sort of storytelling has. Gunn's formula has sort of, pinned him against the wall a little bit. He's really dug himself into a really deep hole with this formula because it's gotten so repetitive with Peacemaker, with Superman, with Creature Commandos, and if Supergirl follows the same pattern, I don't really think people are going to be too interested. There's that. And as for Avengers Doomsday, I want to talk about Doomsday for a second because I think this is going to be really interesting. With the Russos on board this film, it is very likely that this film is at least good. Not going to say it's going to be amazing. Not going to say it's going to be spectacular. We do know that they are re-releasing Avengers Endgame in theaters next year in September to sort of lead up to Doomsday. And a lot of theories have sort of been speculated that they're going to be adding footage from Doomsday at the end of Endgame to sort of directly lead into that film, which is interesting. So if they're doing that, that means that the Russos have somewhat of a plan. And this film has been reported by Daniel RPK and several other sources that this is a direct sequel to Avengers Endgame, Avengers Doomsday. So, Stephen McFeely, Robert Downey Jr., Kevin Feige, Joe and Anthony Russo, they're all hands on deck on this film. Chris Evans even reportedly. So I just am really hoping that this film is great. I'm not going to say that it's going to be the best Marvel movie. We don't know. But given their track record, I really hope that they're able to pull it off and sort of be able to pull together all of this sort of storytelling that we've been doing for the past 4 or 5 years since Endgame and sort of wrap it up neatly and tightly with Secret Wars and then head off into the Mutant X-Men saga and then sort of start fresh after Secret Wars and sort of start anew, I guess. So that's my sort of take on it. I would love for both of these films to do great. But, we'll see. Guns universe hasn't really been keeping me too interested. Superman was all right, but Creature Commandos didn't pique my interest. Commandos didn't pique my interest. And I've seen clips and things and interviews from both shows. I want nada. I don't want anything to do with those shows. So I just really hope that the film aspect really remains tight and compact, and that we're really telling amazing stories with these characters. Supergirl, I'm a little skeptical about because I don't know how to feel about telling a story about a drunken superhero. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know if that's a great role model for kids. But hopefully parents will watch this trailer that comes out eventually and be like, maybe we don't take them to see this. Let's leave this for the teenagers and more adults, not our little ones. But yeah, so I'm excited. I do not know how the trailer is going to be looking like. I don't know anything. I'm not really that much of an insider in the industry, so I can't say too much. But I do know that we are probably going to be seeing at least a few shots of Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. I think we're going to be getting a Chris Evans in this trailer, Chris Hemsworth, and just the OG squad back together. And then I really hope that we are sort of heading back towards that MCU greatness again, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I just thought I'd come on here and talk about that real quick. And this is the week for comic book movie media content. And I can't wait. I'm particularly excited for Doomsday to see what the Russos and everybody has cooked up for that. I'm really, really intrigued with that film. I'm hooked because I'm. It's not that I'm excited. I'm curious, and I think that's what they've done great with the marketing of this movie so far. Because Marvel's security and PR team has kept this film on lock these past few months. We barely know anything. We've barely gotten any set leaks besides the AI generated ones. We've barely gotten any. The Russos haven't really even come out and talked about it that much. They've been so busy working on the film that they haven't really even made any comments during production, which is really rare. None of the actors have really come out to talk about it. I mean, it's like Feige literally does have that sniper pointed towards everyone's heads, being like, we are not talking about this film until the trailer drops, and then you guys can go spill your little beans here and there. But besides that, until the trailer drops, it is dead silent. I'm also really intrigued to see when the marketing for A Brand New Day is going to start up. That it's been reported that film is now wrapped filming. And it's crazy because that film only took about 4 or 5 months to shoot, and it's already done. It's already wrapped. I do not know anything about reshoots, but if they've already completed that within 4 months, 5 months, that means Daniel Dustin Cretton had a really, really good plan, and he had a really solid plan, and he had the story ready to go, and he knew what he wanted. And so that is what is making me excited for Brand New Day, because it seems as if they have a plan for that character. And Tom Holland seems to be on board with it. Zendaya seems to be on board with it. Everyone involved with that film seems to have, at least had fun making it. Um, I'm really intrigued how they handle John Bernthal's Punisher. I'm really intrigued to see, who Sadie Sink is playing in that film. And she made an interesting comment a while back on the Stranger Things press tour that a lot of people uh, don't think that hair color can change, or something along those lines. And it's very interesting, and maybe that was her sort of trying to tell who she might be playing, but I have no idea. Is she playing a black cat? I don't know. Is she playing an X-Man? Is she a mutant? No one knows. There's been 10,000 theories floated around out there about who she might be playing. Her lips have been sealed the entire press tour of Stranger Things. So that has been pretty funny and pretty interesting to watch. Daniel Dustin Cretton hasn't really come out and talked about it too much. As well, he's been hard at work at that movie and probably editing and getting everything together. What I really am interested in is who's scoring the film. I do not know if Michael Giacchino is coming back. I do not know Giacchino. It's one of the two. He's one of my favorite composers. I would really love to see like a Hans Zimmer or something come back to that character. That'd be cool. But I don't know. Or Junkie XL would be really cool for Spider-Man. He could sort of bring that modern vibe into that sort of pop feel. which is the vibe that I've been getting from all the brand new day set photos. Very modern, very tech sounding score. But I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that's sort of been the gist of everything so far. I really, really do hope that all these projects come out great and amazing. And I just have one message to Marvel Studios, and that's to please not mess this up. You're re-releasing Endgame, re-release Infinity War as well. If this is a direct sequel to Endgame, we also need the first part to Endgame, which is Infinity War. People need to go back and see that as well, because I highly doubt that they're not going to put Thanos in this movie. They're obviously putting Josh Brolin in this movie. So characters have to get familiar with him, so we need to put him back in theaters as well as much as we can. So Infinity War and Endgame both need to be re-released and not just Endgame. So yeah, I just have one message to Marvel Studios, and that's not to screw it up. Don't screw it up. Don't screw this trailer up. Don't screw anything up. Let's get back to the old days where we're really taking care of these characters and we're really making sure that we're telling heartfelt, character-driven stories with these characters, and it'll be stories that get fans hooked and make them want to go to the theater. Obviously, the theatrical experience is under attack right now with Warner Brothers being acquired by Netflix, and everyone sort of being in a frenzy about that and really scared about what will happen to the theatrical experience. So, Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios, you have that ability. You have a chance to bring people back to the theater, to say, hey, we still care about you, the fans, and we still care about these characters, and we still care about these stories that we are putting up on the big screen. And we would really, really appreciate it if you guys were to come out to these theaters, to your local cinema, to support these films as much as possible. You know, I'm always available, Marvel. If you need me to come on that press tour to promote these movies, I will. Okay? I'll interview Robert Downey Jr. I'll interview Chris Evans. Hook me up. But no. The theatrical experience right now is indeed under attack a little bit. And we need to remind people that the theatrical experience is a communal experience that should not be forgotten and should be a thing for many, many, many more years to come. We do not need to kill this thing that is so special, that is the theatrical cinematic experience. This is our way of sort of, getting away from the world, minus religion, minus everything like that. This is the closest thing that some people have to church. It is that special to so many people, and this shouldn't be taken away. And Netflix, Ted Sarandos, if you're watching, that message also goes to you, Mister. Do not take this away from us, because we need that experience, especially with Dune releasing in theaters. Do you not want money? Let's think about this for a second, Mr. Sarandos. Come on. You're about to acquire a studio that could make you so much money, but you're just like, nah, dude, people want to watch these movies at home. No! They only watch these movies at home because you forced them to. If these movies were put in theaters for more than a week, for more than 2 weeks, you might actually be surprised about how many people actually want to go to these theaters to watch these things. Look at Stranger Things, and look how many people have already sold out theaters to go watch that freaking finale in theaters. Look at that, take that, and say, hey, maybe these fans do want to see these projects in theaters. And be like, you know what? We need to take advantage of that. So if you guys are going to acquire Warner Brothers, all I ask, just be careful. And don't mess things up. Don't mess with things that are so special. Anyway, I'm done with my rant for now. Thank you all so much for watching. I shall catch you all in the next video. Take care and peace.